Yeah, and actually, and I'm trying to avoid sensitive areas here. I'm going to zoom out real quick. But it looked like there was two pieces of what a cab was, and I can actually try to point it out. Over right behind where those cars derailed, there's like pieces of what looks like a cab area, and you can see where those investigators are standing. That's the point of impact. That's Midline Road. And again, they're looking for, I think, debris and trying to collect all pieces of evidence right there where the point of impact is. And then just a little bit more to the right is where they've kind of got a perimeter set up of where the body was found, and that's where I'm trying to stay away from and zoom out until I can kind of get we kind of like blur out some of the images here for you, is what I'm kind of doing as you're talking.
Can we tell, Tammy, what the business is right next to the train derailment? Are those homes, mobile homes? I can't quite tell.
It looks like, possibly could be like, mobile homes for sale, possibly, or there might be some people that are living in that area. So that would be mobile homes behind. Doesn't look like there's really much residential area from where this is, so that is the good news. Is either lots of times there's an evacuation around the perimeter, and it doesn't look like they have the area evacuated other than just near 59 and Midland. So that is the other sort of good news, because we're checking with our desk about exactly if it doesn't look like there's going to be any type of evacuation other than just in the immediate area from what we're seeing.
Yes, and we're monitoring too here. Just the Sheriff's Department has been active, just tweeting out if there's any update. We haven't seen anything from them. Splendora Police is the lead investigator. We'd imagine that if there was some kind of evacuation, we would hear about it. They would want us to know. We would be able to tell people. So far, we have not heard any of that. Now, typically, Tammy, if we were in the regular newscast in the morning, we would have by now, of course, cut away. What does it look like for you, since we don't usually, have breaking news here on the stream? What does it usually look like for you now? How long are you able to stay up there? Because of course you're limited by, you've got, at some point you run out of gas, and you're no doubt making calls to our desk. And what happens now for you?
Yeah, so normally we cover the morning show traffic from about 6 to 7:15, 7:30, and then my pilot, James Fox, monitors all of the equipment. I can kind of give you a cockpit view here, and you can kind of see where the gas is at the bottom of the screen, and so he's monitoring that. We'll give an update on how long we can stay up here, which I will ask James. He'll kind of give me a checkpoint here. Normally we can fly about 2.5 hours before fueling up, and of course that all is determined by the amount of winds, how much hovering we do, all that sort of thing. But usually we kind of average, we can be up in the air for around 2 hours, as long as there's no weather. And there is no weather up here as far as fog. It's a little bit cloudy, but nothing is hampering us as well. Of course, we don't know if the weather conditions affected, somebody trying to cross the train tracks and didn't quite, see the arm come down, maybe with the light. We don't know. There's just so much in the beginning of this investigation that's starting. But from my vantage point right now, it's real clear as far as weather, other than just the occasional little bit glare out the window that I see every now and then. Jacob?
Okay, Tammy, thanks so much. All right, we're now at 9:16. We have about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, up in Montgomery County near Splendora, a train derailment, a train, Union Pacific, colliding with a semi, and this is a fatal accident. And we can only assume the driver of that semi was killed in all of this, but we have not heard anything else besides the fact that this is a fatal accident. Splendora Police is the lead agency. And you see on the scene fire trucks, you see police. We haven't seen any hazmat, anything like that. We haven't heard of any evacuation order. We know sometimes these trains can carry what are considered hazardous materials, but we see investigators walking in and out there, and again, no hazmat to speak of, no evacuation to speak of. This is 59 near, let me get my paper out again, 59 near, hold on, Fostoria. The feeder at Fostoria is currently closed, as you can tell there on, as Sky has shown us. The freeway there is not closed at this point. It appears that this happened right next to a business, perhaps selling mobile homes, we're not sure, but we're not seeing a bunch of people out there, and we are waiting to learn exactly what happened. But of course, that may take some time as investigators are there at the scene collecting evidence. There are pieces of this semi-truck kind of scattered about. Part of the semi is there still underneath the very front of the train, and part of it, as Tammy was pointing out earlier, is scattered there. There's some sensitive things there. There's, you know, the body of the person who was killed is there somewhere, and she's circling now pieces of the cab that were hit. At least 7 of those cars have derailed. We're not exactly sure what is inside of them. Wow, what a scene there. And this is a big, huge train here, again, heading northbound. And the blur on your screen you're seeing is we're covering what is the sensitive area, the body that is still unseen. Tammy, really, I think those are the questions that I had, and I don't know if you had anything else to add, but I guess we're thankful that we're not talking about any evacuation, where this didn't happen right next to a school or a bunch of homes or anything like that. And Tammy.
Yeah, we didn't see any smoke. We didn't see any smoke or anything like that when we were pulling up to the scene. All we saw was the feeder road closed, and you know, that perimeter where I have the area blurred out is where they're kind of concentrating on. So yeah, that is the only good news. Other than it's going to take some time to clean this mess up, because they've got 7 of those cars flipped over, and of course they've got all of the debris and stuff underneath the beginning of the train here. So, you know, you're looking at a good, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours before they clean this mess up. And the main lanes you can see in the middle of your screen, that is still open. This is south of Cleveland, near Splendora, those not familiar with the area. And then we also have our address bar at the top of your screen, Midline Road, and that's where the point of contact was, and Highway 59 in Montgomery.
Okay. Okay, Tammy, we're going to take a break to talk about some other happenings. I know you'll stay there, and we'll come back with any update. No doubt we'll come back soon in the show. Thank you so much.